Hey Cardinal fans, and welcome to the Uiw Coaches Show. I am your host, Karla Bello. The Uiw football team claimed a 43-26 win over the 21st ranked Sam Houston State Bearcats this past Saturday to secure its first undefeated home season ever. The Cardinals recovered 7 turnovers, which is the highest in a single game by any Southland team this season. Women's volleyball won 2 home games last week as they swept Lamar in 3 sets and defeated McNeese in 5 sets. Uiw has now won 4 of their last 5 games and are in a prime position to qualify for the Southland tournament if they continue to close the year out strong. The men's soccer ended the 2018 season with a loss at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley by the score of 3-0. Head coach Chris Fidler will join us today for a recap on the year. Cardinal fans, stay tuned as we will have a number of new guests on the show coming up. Cardinal fans, joining us today, we have Uiw's safeties coach, Rickey Hunley. Hello, Coach. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Really good, Coach. Coach, how did it feel to beat Sam Houston State for the very first time in school history?
Awesome feeling. Awesome day for us on Saturday. You know, just kind of a culmination of what we continue to work for throughout this year. Our guys came out. They played extremely well, as we have here at home, and just wanted to make sure that we finished the job from a home standpoint. You know, finishing up undefeated was extremely important to us, as well as being able to send our seniors out on the right note with their last game in the Benson. So it was a great day, and just extremely excited for what we've been building and what we continue to build here in our program.
Coach, also for the very first time in school history, your team is undefeated at home. What does that accomplishment mean to you? Well,
it just means for us, you take a sense of pride when you play at home. You know, it's just kind of a mantra in all sports that if they got to come to your turf, that you're going to take care of business. And so we've been able to do that. And it's a big deal for, you know, our players, for those guys to be able to feed off of the excitement of the crowd, you know, all of the different things that we've had going on campus in all of those home games, and then just to go out and put it on the field, you know, lay it down on the field and be in a position where now, you know, when you come to our place, you're going to understand it's going to be a tough environment to get a win in.
For sure. The defense forced 7 turnovers with 3 interceptions and 4 fumble recoveries. What was working for the team?
It was a day where a lot was clicking for us. From a defensive standpoint, you know, I've never been, to my knowledge, my recollection, been a part of a performance like that as far as from a turnover standpoint. You know, to record 7 turnovers, like you said, you know, to give our offense the ball, you know, already explosive offense, to continue to put the ball in their hands and just try to give them every opportunity for us to you know, finish the game, as well as put ourselves in a position where, you know, that's what we expect to be. It was what we expect to do. We've done a very good job of taking the ball away throughout the year, and it's come at very good times for us. So, you know, hopefully that's something we can continue to build on for the remainder of the season.
Coach, defensively, Uiw is leading the nation in turnover gains. What's the coaching staff emphasizing to bring this to the team?
Well, Coach Deason, our defensive coordinator, does a great job every day of stressing the importance of getting your hands on the ball, you know, from a defensive standpoint, whether that's tapping the ball out, ripping the ball and raking it, what we call, and then also when we have the opportunity to get interceptions to make it count. You know, every day we go through a turnover circuit where our guys are in a position where they're going to catch balls. The biggest guys all the way to the smallest guys are going to be in a position where they're able to catch balls, make sure we have interceptions or take advantage of the opportunities that we have when we have interceptions. And then when we get guys in a pile, as far as from a run game standpoint, that first guy's going to make the tackle, the second guy's going to strip at that ball and see if we can get it out.
Coach, you are tied in first place in the Southland Conference with only one game remaining. How's the team preparing for this final game?
Well, it's a situation for us where we've talked to our guys. You know, the whole season has prepared you for this moment. Everything that we've done prior to this Saturday has been, you know, a step in the process, whether it's been us playing extremely well, whether it's, you know, not playing as well as we would like to have. All of those things have been set in order and set in place for a reason. And so we get to now lean back on our training, think of times and things that we've done positively or negatively leading up to this point and try to capitalize, because the big thing for us is we're going on the road. You know, we haven't been great on the road, but if you can't get excited for this one this week, you know, I don't know what to tell you. So our guys are extremely locked in, dialed in, and excited for the challenge that we have this weekend.
Yes, Coach. And what would it mean to the team to beat UCA this weekend? It
would mean everything. You know, it's not going to make or break or define our season by any means, you know, but to be exactly where we set out to be earlier this year, for all of that to come to pass, I think it would be everything. You know, for our seniors and guys who have been in this program when it's not been where it is right now, you know, for them to have the opportunity to call themselves conference champion, for them to have an opportunity to possibly extend their season even more. You know, it just puts a lot in perspective. And then obviously for our young guys that get to return, it kind of sets a precedent of who we're going to be and what we're going to do from here moving forward.
Cardinal fans, joining me, we have our lovely volleyball head coach, Samantha Dabbs. Hello, Coach. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Coach, your team captured 2 huge wins this past weekend. How do you feel about your team's performances?
I mean, from the very beginning when we started this journey back in August about season, we definitely knew that we had to be playing our best volleyball come November. And we've been making that happen since the beginning. And these 2 wins were huge for us. We definitely needed them to still stay alive and have a shot at getting in to the tournament. So it was a great feeling. It was a great weekend. We're excited, but we still have 2 more tough matches ahead. So, but the mentality's there. The girls are doing a great job. You know, it's a long season, so they're having to take care of their bodies a little bit more, and you know, before they start kind of breaking down. So, but they're doing a really good job.
Coach, you have won 4 of its 5 games. What do you need to do in order to continue with this success?
I mean, with volleyball, it's such a momentum sport. So if you're feeling really good and you build the momentum and you start from warm-ups, you know, our girls know what they're playing for, and they understand that these next 2 wins are even more important than the last 2 wins, just because we're right there on the cusp of making it. If we win these next 2, we could go in as high as ranked as 5th place if other things fall into place as well with other teams. You know, so my team knows what's at stake, but they're rising to the pressure, and they want to be in that postseason tournament. So I'm preparing them for it as best as I can mentally, and then hopefully they're getting enough rest and recovery time so they can play 2 huge matches again come Thursday and Saturday.
Coach, you're only 2 games away in making a spot in the tournament. How is your team preparing both mentally and physically to secure the spot?
I mean, we're watching a lot of film. We've played both these teams already. We lost to HBU the first time at their place in 5, and we lost to Corpus Christi in 4. At their place again. So we know what we're going up against, and we know that we can beat them, and we let those games slip out from underneath us when we played them first time. So us having, you know, it being at home is a huge advantage. Us knowing what the pressure is, it being senior weekend for our 1 senior, Maddie Slaughter. We have a lot, you know, on the table this weekend, and we're fighting for a lot, and the team's rising to that pressure. They're okay with it. And, you know, for us to go down and have to come back and win in 5 on Saturday, they knew how important that game was, and they didn't crumble, and they came out and they executed, and we crushed it in the fifth set, going 15-6, you know, and so that just shows them that their mentality, they're strong and they're playing with a lot of grit and passion, you know, but the mentality in going in is that to do your job, stay disciplined, and just make sure that you know, are playing through the net and you know what's coming at you, so there's no surprises this weekend.
Coach, thank you so much for being here today, and good luck on these upcoming 2 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Each summer, student-athlete leaders from the Southland Conference's 13 schools get together for a retreat. Before we start another season of competition, there's time to have some fun and bond. We also share experiences of serving our campuses and communities. Together, Southland student-athletes completed more than 30,000 community service hours over the past year. We pull for each other and push to make each other better. Just part of what makes us Southland strong.
Closing the 2018 season, we have the men's soccer head coach, Chris Fidler. Hello, Coach. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Coach, the 2018 season has come to an end. Can you reflect on the year, and what are the biggest takeaways you have?
Well, obviously, it's not been a great year. We didn't reach our goals, but like I've said in previous weeks, we had a lot of new guys, and like I told them after the game on Saturday, they've got to learn from these experiences. So I think as the season's gone on, the style of play's got a little bit better. You know, we only lose 5 seniors, so a lot of them will be coming back with more experiences. And I think the key thing I said to them is they have to learn from it and not make the same mistakes over and over, so we can achieve our goal next season.
Coach, moving forward, who are some of the student athletes that you are expecting are going to help the team lead next year?
Obviously, my goalkeeper, Carlos Mercado, as a freshman, he's had a lot of experience. He has to build on that, take a bit of a leadership role. Obviously, we'll have a few seniors next year, like Cass Van Eekelen and Tom Bibby. You know, they've been in the program for 2-3 years, and they need to lead by example in everything that they do. You know, and step it up a little bit so we can reach our goals next year.
What are your objectives during this off-season?
To recruit better players. Not saying that the previous guys weren't good enough, but for us to improve, we have to reach out and get the best players we can. Also to work on our style of play. You know, we started midway through the season, didn't have a lot of time to work on it. So now it gives us 3-4 months to work on it, recruit the players to fit that system to help us achieve the goal next year. I'm looking at playing some pro teams in spring, so it'll be a good experience again to help us be better prepared for next fall.
Coach, and what are some of the qualities you're looking for while you're recruiting for this upcoming season?
You know, I've been recruiting hard for the last few months, and I'm looking for kids that are hungry, that want to come in and help improve and change the culture in the program for us to be successful. It's not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to take, you know, months, possibly years. But if we can recruit the right kids that are good in the classroom and on the field and have the right attitudes, that will only help us build a successful program.
Coach, thank you so much for being here today, and congratulations on everything you have done for this season.
Thank you.
Opening the 2018 season, we have the men's basketball head coach, Carson Cunningham. Hello, Coach. How are you doing today?
I feel strong. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here today, Coach.
Yes, absolutely.
Coach, how has preparation for this upcoming season gone, and what's the message to your team heading into the first game?
Well, I think the preparation's gone well. We have a lot to learn, putting in a lot of new stuff. It's going to be super competitive, and I like the attitude. I like that we've been able to work on some wrinkles in our man-to-man and put in a decent number of sets. So we're just excited to get out there, have a chance to play together against another team. We've been doing a lot of scrimmaging and practice against each other. and see what happens. I'm as eager as anyone.
Coach, what's the goal for this season, and what type of culture would you like to establish here at UIW?
Well, we emphasize the 5 G's in Incarnate Word Hoops: goodness, the golden rule, growth, grit, and gratitude. I think if we can try to cultivate that mindset, cultivate those values, we're going to have a fulfilling experience, a good year. We're going to get better, we're going to grow closer, and compete really hard if you really embrace those 5 G's. And so that's our goal, really. It's an overarching goal. And then to represent Incarnate Word and its mission well, so we can wave a banner for this great institution and for the amazing legacy that the Sisters of Charity have built and continue to build through a beautiful game, basketball. It's a beautiful sport. It's got calls for wonderful, controlled bursts of athleticism, grace and power, just, you know, strength and subtlety. It's just, so we just want to put it all together, try to play in an alluring way, in a super competitive way, and have a fulfilling experience as we do.
Who are some of the student athletes we should look out for, and who are you relying on to lead the squad?
Well, we have a team voted for Charles Brown to be captain, and he had some fantastic performances last year, and I think he's a good representation of the type of attitude we're trying to cultivate here. So looking for big things from him. Obviously we have some returners who have had big performances as well, and we're excited to see what they can do. Christian Peavy, Jordan Kite, you know, Cody Graham, Augustine, and there's just a number of guys that have done some nice stuff. And then we have a lot of young bucks. And then we have one other junior college newcomer, Des Ballantyne. And so we're just looking to try to integrate the group, play a beautiful brand of ball, and have fun doing it. But it's also challenging, so that's the thing, right? It's super competitive. Sports really pull on your emotions because they're gripping and they're dramatic. So you want to have that intensity, and you want to have that super competitive attitude, and at the same time you want to try to do it in a way where you're having a 5 G's mindset. So that's our goal. Should be fun, and hopefully people come to the game. That would be awesome. Yes. Come to the game. We have Friday, Saturday, Monday we're at home. Okay. So come on out, cheer us on, and fly with the Cardinals.
For sure, Coach. Thank you so much for being here, Coach, and good luck on this upcoming season.
Thank you very much.
Cardinal fans, opening the 2018 season, we have the women's basketball head coach, Christy Smith. Hello, Coach. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Really good, Coach. Thank you for being here today.
Of course.
Coach, how do you feel about getting the 2018 season underway?
We're very excited. It seems like when you're preparing, especially in the summer and throughout the fall, it seems like it's such a far distance away before your first game, and then it gets here in no time. And so I think the players are ready to start playing and beating up on somebody besides themselves.
What style of play would you like your team to have in this season?
We're really looking to push the ball, especially in transition, get the ball out, look to score early. One, it's a fun way to play, and it's fun to watch as well. Defensively, we'd really like to put a lot of pressure on other teams, get after it defensively. But then we also understand when we play some of the Power 5 schools, we have to back it up a little bit and play a little bit conservative, but really want to push the ball and try to score early as much as we can.
And what are your expectations for this season?
Just really trying to improve as much as we can. A lot of our non-conference schedule is pretty tough. So wanting to improve and get better during the non-conference so we're ready for the conference season and hopefully make the conference tournament this year.
Hopefully. And Coach, finally, who are some of the student athletes that you think are going to create a positive impact during this season?
Amani Robinson is coming in as a preseason first team selection for the Southland, and so she's got a lot of pressure, but she's done a really good job the last 2 years of handling that. We're really challenging her to broaden her game, be more of a creator for her teammates. Gabby Bowie is our only senior, and so looking for her as well to produce for us, to create open looks for their teammates. And then we have 3 junior college players that have come in. Angelica Wiggins, Lex, and London Henry have both been really good in practice, so looking for them to contribute as well.
Coach, thank you so much for being here today, and good luck on this season.
Thank you.
Cardinal fans, we have our swimming and diving head coach, PHILLIP Davis. Hello, Coach. Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you. Hi, Mom.
Coach, the men's team won conference last season. What's your training philosophy that lead to that?
We just work hard. I mean, that's working hard is the bare minimum. Okay, so the idea that we talk about a lot with our team is, what if everything's even with us versus another team? And how do we win that meet? So we grind it out. We build toughness. We swim fast every day. You know, we try to put them in stressful situations, our men and our women. You don't know what's in a tea bag until you put it in hot boiling water. So we try to add hot boiling water every day and see what we got.
Coach, what are some of the goals you have for the team this season, and how is your team working to achieve that?
You know, well, first off, I get real, I'm kind of like Nick Saban with the whole defending national champion, defending conference champions. We're not defending anything. We don't have the same team we had 365 days ago. We have seniors leave, we have graduating people, we have coaches move on. It's not the same team. So what do? We have to evaluate what we have this year, and we have to move forward and maximize everything we have, okay? So we have to put them in position to be successful. And so we have to train them to do that. On the men, it is always going to be to repeat and win the conference championship again, and to qualify people for NCAA nationals, and to qualify as many as we can for the CSCAA National Invitational. We have goals of winning that meet. We have goals of having the first All-American in UIW school history for Division I. We have a lot of goals like that. For the women, it's to move up. Being in the top 5, top 6 out of 10 in our conference is good, but it's just not quite where we want to be. It's not our goal. So our goal is to move up there as well.
Coach, thank you so much for being here today, and good luck
Thank you.
this upcoming season.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Cardinal fans, joining me today, we have the fencing head coach, John MOREAU. Thank you, Coach, for being here today.
My pleasure.
Nice meeting you.
Okay.
Coach, talk about the sport of fencing and what type of skill it involves.
Oh, you got me there. The skill, they liken fencing to a game of chess on your feet. You have to move. It's boxing, it's martial art. It entails all of it, but it's at a distance, farther away from what we normally would do in martial arts encounters, because it's like almost like the Princess Bride. If you know where I'm trying to hit you, I won't be able to hit you. You'll be able to block it. But if I know that you know that I know where you think you're going, then I can surely not choose the wine in front of you. It's the person who has like a game of chess, little feints here and there, and then it's scored differently in different competitions, but we try to defeat our opponent 5 times, hit them 5 times before we get hit 5 times. So very fascinating. I've been doing it for 50 years almost. Wow. Almost 50 years. I started when I was in college.
Wow. Coach, what is your target for your team this season?
Well, we strive to do better every year. This is our 4th year of competition. We are one of the newest NCAA fencing schools in the United States. When we started, we were the first team to start from scratch at the Division I level. There wasn't a team beforehand. And that's never happened. The last team that kind of did it was University of North Carolina. They were a club sport for 1 year, and then they brought it on as an NCAA Division I school.
Coach, thank you so much for being here today, and good luck on this upcoming season.
Thank you so much.
Cardinal fans, joining me today, we have our synchronized swimming head coach, Elizabeth GERDIN. Hello, Coach, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing very well.
Coach, the team had a near podium finish at Nationals last season. What are the keys to being able to perfect a routine that helped lead to that success?
Yeah, so for us, last year our choreography and our lifts were phenomenal. We got really good feedback on that stuff. The areas that we need to improve in order to get that podium finish that we're looking for, and actually we're looking not just to go to third, but to just win overall. You might as well just go for it all the way. And what we need to do is, which is a huge focus on our synchronization, synchronized swimming, right? But sometimes it's hard to get those fine-tuned moments where you're 100% together. So we've been working on that, and then just our intent of movement. So, and that helps with your synchronization.
Wow. What figures and technical elements make a good synchronized swimmer?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So they have to be pretty well-rounded. So to be a good synchronized swimmer, obviously being a strong swimmer in the water is really important. Flexibility is a really huge key, especially in some of our more technical elements that we do. If you're not flexible enough, you can't even really 100% do the movement. So the flexibility of like a dancer is really important. Artistic compression is something that's added into our sport that we don't see in a lot of the other competitive sports here on campus. And so that's another really big thing. If the girls really like to perform, show the emotion of the routine that they're supposed to be doing, whether it's happy, sad, joyful, angry, they have to portray that. So that's really important as well. And then being powerful in the water is really big, sort of like a water polo player. They have to be able to do those jumps, and they can't touch the bottom of the pool. So one of the really big risk factors in synchronized swimming are lifts. So you'll have 8 people on a team, and they throw somebody up and they sort of do like a dive in the water or like a stunt in cheerleading, but they can't touch the bottom. So they have to have lots of power as well.
Coach, thank you so much for being here, and good luck on this upcoming season.
Appreciate it.
Make sure to check out UIW Sports this week as football goes on the road to face Central Arkansas on Saturday at 3 p.m. Volleyball travels to Texas Southern on Tuesday for a 6 p.m. contest before returning home for the final 2 regular season games. UIW hosts Houston Baptist on Thursday at 7 p.m. and Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Saturday at noon. Men's basketball begins the 2018 and 19 season with 3 games. First, they travel to Texas Tech on Tuesday for a 6:30 p.m. tip. Then they return home to host St. Francis on Friday and the University of Texas at Tyler on Saturday, both at 7 p.m. Women's basketball has 3 road games this week as well. First, they play Arizona State on Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Then they face Grand Canyon on Friday at 7 p.m. and South Dakota on Sunday at 3:15 p.m. Cross country will compete in the NCAA South Central Regionals on Friday, and fencing will compete in the Vasa Dual Meet Invitational on Sunday. For more news and updates on all UIW sports, make sure to follow us at UIW Athletics on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. For UIW Athletics, I'm Karla Bello. Have a beautiful day.